Hey everybody, so for this video I want to go through a sample Schedule 1A additional deductions, and this is going to be for the 2025 tax year. Now specifically in this video we're going to be looking at part 2, so how to calculate the no tax on tips deduction. But this schedule is completed for a variety of other deductions, so no tax on the overtime premium, computing deductible auto loan interest on your personal vehicle, or calculating the enhanced deduction available for seniors. So again, we're working with part 2. If you're interested in those other parts, I've got separate videos covering those as well. So I'll put the links to those in the description below. You can go check those out if you wish. So I've got the Schedule 1A in front of us here. It is part of a full return. So we'll look at not only the schedule, but how the numbers flow back to the Form 1040. And then in addition to that, I've got just one slide here covering some background on the deduction and then some details on the fact pattern that we're going to be looking at, and then a sample W-2 for the taxpayer in this example. So if we start with this slide here and the rules, so we're working with Internal Revenue Code Section 224. And in 224, you'll find that the government is giving you a deduction for qualified tip income that you received during the year if it's reported on your W-2 or if you self-reported those tips on 4137. So you're supposed to report your tips to your employer and they include it on your W-2. It's subject to tax. But to the extent you have unreported tip income, you can include that on a 4137, and that would be eligible for the deduction as well. Now, as far as limitations, there's really two issues here. So the first one is a dollar limitation on the amount of the deduction, and that's going to be limited to $25K. So if you are a waiter or bartender and you receive tip income and your tips are, let's say, $35,000 for the year, you can't deduct all $35,000. It's going to be capped at $25K. So you still have to report all of it as income, pay tax on it, but the amount of your deduction is going to be limited to $25,000. And then the other limitation is the phase out, right? So if your income exceeds certain thresholds, so if your modified AGI exceeds 150K, if you're single filer, or 300K for married filing joint returns, there's a phase out that applies here. So you have to reduce the deduction by $100 for every 1,000 that your modified AGI exceeds that relevant threshold. Now, in order to take this deduction and have qualified tip income, it's got to constitute what is defined as qualified tips. So in general, these tips are voluntary. In 224D1, they lay out all the rules for what wouldn't be qualified tip income. But one big example are automatic grats. So if you have a big table and there's automatic gratuities applied to the bill, in the eyes of the IRS, that's not a voluntary tip, right? So it's more of a service charge. And so for that reason, those can't be deductible. Still taxable income, but it's not going to be considered tip income. But for the most part, your qualified tip income is going to be what's reported to you on your W-2, and it shouldn't be an issue. Now, as far as the example here, so in our fact pattern, we're going to have John Smith. He is a single filing taxpayer. He's a bartender living and working in Florida. And his W-2 shows total compensation of $55K, which comprises two components, right? So it's $26,000 of wages that was paid directly by his employer. And then he's got $29,000 of tip income that was paid by patrons, right? People that came in and then he served them their drinks. So his total comp is 55, and it's those two components. So it's the tip income of 29K that we're looking at to try to get a tax deduction. Now, when we have a look at his return, what we'll see is that he's going to get a deduction for $25,000. And why is it 25? Well, that's the limit, right? So even though his tips were 29K, it's capped out at 25,000. And what we'll see here is that, this is a good thing that was added in the bill, right? So his total tax liability is going to end up being $1,481 with this deduction. But if he did not receive the deduction, so years 2024 and prior where we did not have this tax benefit, his tax liability would have been $4,400. So he's got a savings of about $3,000 as a result of this new piece of this new tax benefit that was added as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill. So if we have a look at his W-2 here, So it's just a standard W-2. So we can see his comp, $55,000 reported in boxes 1, 3, and 5. And then the employers are required to separately state, the tip income that was reported in box 7. So you might also see some other boxes completed if you're a tipped employee, right? So boxes 12 might be completed if you have some unreported Medicare and Social Security taxes. Effectively, there wasn't any withholding on those tips, and so the employer didn't send the Social Security and Medicare tax that you're responsible for to the IRS. And so if you see something here, it basically gets added to your return and you got to pay the tax. All right, so we've got his W-2 here. So let's now have a look at the schedule itself. So we've got the schedule up here. So part 1 we have to complete first because we need to figure out what our modified AGI is. And that's because there's those limits in place, right? If our modified AGI exceeds a certain threshold, then we have to be mindful of the phase out. So in order to get your modified AGI completed, you first need your adjusted gross income, which is flowing through, from pages 1 and 2. So if I jump back up here, we can see John's return here. He's a single filing taxpayer. And we can see here he's reported his wages from his W-2. He has a little bit of investment income, some capital gains. And then here we have his line 11B amount. His adjusted gross income is $55,415. So we go back to Schedule 1A, and there's our starting point. So $55,415. Now in John's case here, he doesn't have any adjustments to arrive at his modified AGI. It's just the same figure. So he's not taking the foreign earned income exclusion, and he's not a resident or receiving income from Puerto Rico. So lines 2A through D are blank for him, but you might be in a position where you're filing one of these forms and you might need to make some adjustments. But I imagine for most taxpayers, that's going to be a non-issue, so those amounts are just going to be blank. So $55,415 is his modified AGI. So now if we have a look at part 2, so the no tax on tips section. So line 4, we report the qualified tips received as an employee, right? So it provides more color here on, if you have multiple employees or multiple employers rather. But in most cases, you're just looking at, 4A, we have the qualified tip income that was reported in box 7. But be mindful if your Social Security income is tapped out, you might have to see the instructions and do some additional worksheets. But in our case, he's well below the Social Security threshold. So we're just looking at box 7 here. And if we go back to the W-2, we can see box 7 of Social Security tip income is $29,000. So we've reported the $29K there, and line 4B we've left blank because he doesn't have any unreported tip income. So everything was disclosed to the employer, all the taxes were withheld appropriately, so line 4B is blank for him. So line 4C, we total up the two figures there, and we've got $29,000 of qualified tip income. He doesn't have any qualified tip income that was, attributed to amounts that were reported on 1099s, right? So he was just a W-2 employee. So we have nothing reported from 1099s that would constitute qualified tip income. So that line item is blank for us. So now we start moving into the limits and the phase out. So on line 7, they're asking us to enter the smaller of the amount on line 6 or 25K. So there's that 25K cap. So enter the smaller of the two values. Well, in our case, we have a limit here. $29,000 is greater than 25K, so we put the smaller amount, which is $25,000. Then on line 8, we enter the amount from line 3, so that's our modified adjusted gross income. And then now we have the modified AGI phase out potentially. So enter $150,000 or $300,000 if this is a married filing joint return. In our case, it's a single filing return, so we enter $150,000. And then we now do a little math, right? So line 10 asks us to subtract line 9 from 8. If it is 0 or less, enter the amount from line 7 on 13. So we have an amount that's less than 0, right? So negative 94,000. So he's well below the modified AGI phase out. So we enter the amount from line 7, $25,000 down here on line 13. And so we don't have to do lines 11 and 12. Now, if you have a positive number here, you would have to do 11 and 12. You have to figure out how much of a phase out do I have where I have to reduce my amount reported on line 7. In John's case here, not an issue because he's below the 150K threshold. So the qualified tip deduction that John is going to be eligible to claim on line 13 is going to be 25K. Now, once you've got the 25K completed, you go on to the rest of the parts to see if you have any other deductions to calculate. In our case, we don't. So we don't have any tax. We don't have any overtime compensation during the year. We don't have any deductions for loan interest. He's not a senior citizen. And so line 38, we have our total deductions here is simply going to be the $25,000 figure. Now, when we go back up to page 2 of the 1040, right, so it's asking us to take this value back up to line 13B. So if I jump back to page 2, we can see line 13B here, additional deductions from Schedule 1A, line 38, and there's our $25,000 figure. So his AGI is 55K. He's got the standard deduction here. He's not itemizing. And we can see his $25,000 deduction here. So we add the two together, and his total deductions are going to be $40,750. So we can subtract that from 55,415, and he arrives at $14,665 in taxable income. So this is the amount of taxable income that he used to reference the tax tables and compute the amount of taxes owed. So based on this profile with the investment income he has, he owes $1,481 in tax, and he's got some withholding on his W-2, so he's getting a refund here of $1,519. Now, just as a reminder, this is a new deduction for this year. Had he not been able to get this 25K deduction, his taxable income would have been $25,000 higher, and so obviously the requisite amount of tax would have been higher as well. And so we did already calculate that previously. So again, if he didn't get that deduction, his total taxes would have been $4,481. So he has a total savings of $3,000 by being able to leverage this no tax on tips deduction. So very good thing, very good provision that was added in the One Big Beautiful Bill. Will help a lot of tipped employees that are taxpayers in the United States. So hopefully everybody will remember to leverage that so you don't overpay in taxes during 2025 and then the subsequent years as well. So this is a provision that's going to sunset at the end of 2028. Assuming they don't extend it. Maybe they will. Who knows? Okay, so that covers it for this tutorial. Hope that was helpful. I appreciate you watching as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.